So relationships. Everyone experiences these to some degree. You have connections to your friends, to family, pets, significant others, and even to wonderful institutions like here at UTC. And these relationships differ both in their quality, or how strong that relationship is, as well as their valence, or whether or not that's a positive or negative relationship. And I'm sure you'll all agree with me on this, but differences between how strong that relationship is, as well as whether or not we even like something, often influences how we go about our day. This includes who we decide to meet up with, where we decide to go, what we decide to do, and even how we decide to do things. This is true not only for our personal lives, but for our professional lives as well. Organizational scientists have long considered relationships to be an important factor in our research. We include these in many measures, such as job satisfaction, how committed employees are to an organization, and even how engaged they are with their work. However, despite a wealth of research indicating large differences between positive and negative relationships, many of our measures only collect the number of connections, often disregarding any consideration for their quality or their valence. Now, to me, this paints a pretty large gap in our understandings. Now, if I'm correct, and research from multiple disciplines indicate that I am, this means that much of organizational research, as well as many many company initiatives and decisions, are made using largely incomplete information. Thus, my thesis attempts to demonstrate that these relational components, sort of how strong a relationship is, as well as whether or not it's positive or negative, are in fact worth consideration. To test this, I'll be surveying over 500 employees, and in addition to these organizational concepts or topics, I'll also be questioning them on how strong their relationships are, as well as whether or not they're positive or negative. Then, using statistical analyses, I will be able to compare all the different interactions between these variables and relationships and see just whether or not they are significant and worth consideration. Now, before we end this today, I just want to go on ahead and I think it's very important to note that everything I've just said may be unfounded or even unnecessary. Much of organizational research has largely benefited organizations and employees for decades without taking into consideration these variables. However, for me, there's this large what if, and given the implications of my thesis, it is definitely very large. What if we have been doing everything wrong or been doing things wrong for so much time? And what if we could be doing things so much better? And for me, that's more than enough motivation to want to pursue this topic. And I hope by the end of this, you all agree with me as well. Thank you.